Hello and welcome to the Pet Care demo video of Summer 2021. The Capstone 2 members that worked on this project were Paola Castro, Alejandro Curbelo, Ciara Morel, Ronald Peña, Omar Rodriguez, Jose Serpa, and Brian Virgil. And the Capstone 1 members that shadowed us and helped with documentation were Rolando Moya and Daniel Perez. Our product owner was Dr. Hamid Saragat, and our instructor was Dr. Masood Tijadi. Now on to the demo.
Hi, welcome to our demo for the mobile application Pet Care. I will be going over how to create a user in this application. We go to sign up. In a previous version, we already have the name and the last name, of course. We already also have the email. Very new thing we have to add in this version was the role. In the role, we're gonna have two options, and each of those options are gonna define what you as a user are gonna be able to see. For example, only a veterinarian will be able to add prescriptions and diet for a pet, while a patient will be only able to see the history of diets and prescription for certain pet. In this case, just for testing purpose, we're gonna create a veterinarian user. As you see, create a user in this application is really easy and simple. We're gonna log out to explain you more in depth how a veterinarian user works.
Hello, my name is Alejandro Curbelo, and I will be showcasing the pet information section for this portion of the demo. In this version of the Pet Care app, a lot of changes and additions have been made to a pet's information. These changes and additions will be further explained later on in this demo by a different group member. For now, let's get started by adding a new pet. Let's click on the plus sign at the top right hand corner, and we'll now be presented to the Add Pet section. For the species, we'll select dog. For the sex, female. The age group, 4 to 8 months. For the size, medium. The activity level, moderate. For the living space, we'll say that our pet lives outdoors. For the spayed-neutered status, we'll indicate that our pet is spayed. For the duration of pregnancy, she is not pregnant. And for the duration of lactation, she is non-lactating. We will name her Mia. She is a German Shepherd. For the weights, we will say that she is 25 kilograms. And for the years owned, we'll put that we've owned her for half a year. Scroll up to the check mark at the top right hand corner, click on it, and there we have Mia under the My Pets section. Once we click on Mia, we will then be presented to her pet information screen. In the pet information section, you'll see that all the information we had just finished inputting is displayed here. However, let's assume that the pet owner would like to change some of this information. They would simply have to go to the top right hand corner and click on this icon. They will then be presented to the Edit Information section. Here, they could change the default image of their animal and put their own. They could change their name, their species, the breed, the sex, and so on. But for this demo, we will only be changing everything from age group and below. So for the age group, the sizes of the cake demonstrate the age group of the pet. So we will select the biggest cake to indicate that Mia is an adult. For the size of the pet, it's the same concept, so we'll select the second largest animal icon to indicate that Mia is a large animal. For the weight, we'll change from 25 kilograms to 35 kilograms. For the activity levels, these images represent the activity levels by our pet, so we'll use this standing one to indicate that Mia is mild in her activity level. For the years owned, we'll indicate that Mia has been owned for 2 years. For the living space, we will change from outdoors to the indoors by selecting the house icon instead of the tree icon. And for the spayed-neutered status, Mia currently has a check mark indicating that she's spayed, but we will now choose the not symbol to indicate that she's intact. For the duration of pregnancy, similar to the age group and the size, the larger the icon, the longer the pet has been pregnant. So we'll select the largest heart to indicate 10 plus weeks of pregnancy. Lactation is the same situation, in which the larger the milk bottle, the longer their lactation. So in this case, we'll just say that Mia has been lactating from 0 to 1 weeks by selecting the smallest milk bottle icon. Submit the changes, and then we're taken back into the pet information screen, where we see that all the changes we've made have now been reflected to the pet information.
Hello, this is Brian with your pet care team, and I'm going to be talking about the lab results section. So once we're in our pet details, so you can see the attributes, you can see everything, and on the bottom there's 4 nifty buttons. One of these buttons says view lab results for and the specific pet name. So we're going to go ahead and click on it. So now we're at another screen, and I wanted to iterate how in the past there was a lab results section in the profile section, and pretty much it was set to an account. So the entire account has all the lab reports, and we wanted to go ahead and make it pet specific because you're going through all your lab results, going through them and whatever, and guess what? Now it just becomes a hassle because you want to find it for that pet, because this is the pet that you're talking about to your veterinarian. So what better way than to make it pet specific? That way when you search your lab results, you can find them very easily in a very easy, intuitive way. So we can go ahead and hit the little plus button, and this goes ahead and brings you to your file manager on your phone. You can have several different documents in there. You can go into your downloads, you can go into your documents. You can find it wherever you need to. So let's go ahead and select a PDF. All right, so once it's selected, it goes ahead and the file itself, that PDF file, is added to our Firebase database, the Firebase storage, and an entry is added into the Firebase for that specific pet with the URL that links it directly to that file. And that's how we were able to make it pet specific. So once you add this file, this PDF file, an entry gets added to that specific pet. And there you go. As you see, you can see the document there. I also wanted to iterate how in the past, you can upload any type of file. However, a black screen would show up and there would be an error. So we went ahead, and since these lab results are going to be in PDF format, we added a PDF checker. So right now, the PDF, you can only upload PDF files. that pretty much concludes the lab results section. You can add, blood analysis, you can add MRIs, you can add x-rays, any sort of lab results, lab reports, you can go ahead and add them in. Well, I will take you to the next person. I hope you enjoyed that.
Hi, I'm Omar Rodriguez. I'll be showing how to interact with the diet section of the pet care application. To access the diet section, you have to go to the pet section. Select a pet, and then scroll to the bottom of the pet's profile. Hitting the button will take you to the diet screen. The diet screen has an exhaustive list of potential foods an owner might feed their pet, or might be recommended by a veterinarian, separated into different categories. You can tap any number of the different food buttons to add said food to the diet. Once you have your diet selected, you can add diet details to the diet, such as feeding frequency and serving size, in the detailed text box. You can then add the diet by hitting the Save Diet button at the bottom of the screen, which will save your selection on the Firestore. The diet will be shown at the bottom of the diet screen, with suggestions from your veterinarian being shown first, and the pet owner's current diet for the pet being below the suggestions. That is all for the diet section of the application. My teammate will now demonstrate the next section.
So this veterinarian user have a pet named Mia. When you go to the pet information button, you're gonna have certain actions that you will be able to retrieve. In this case, we're gonna only focus on prescription just for you to see the difference between a veterinarian and a patient. So we are a veterinarian now, right? If we go to view prescription for Mia, we're not only gonna be able to see all the prescription history for Mia, but we'll be able to add more prescription for Mia. In this case, we're gonna add one just for testing purpose, and that way you can see how it works. And that prescription is gonna go into the history. Right now, we're gonna log as a patient user, so you can see the difference that I just point out. In this case, this patient have Gaviota as a pet. If we go also to view prescription, you can confirm that because this user is a patient, only can see prescriptions history.
We will now navigate to the profile section of the application. On the bottom right, there is a profile tab. Selecting it will take you to the profile setting, which shows a photo, a name, and an option to change either or both. Additionally, there is also the ability to sign out. Let us change our name to Ronald Pena, as well as change the profile photo to something else. Now, let us sign out and sign back in.
Hello, my name is Jose Serpa, and I will be presenting the training video section of our pet care app. Each pet has training videos associated to them dependent on their breed. This dog, named Mia, was added by Alex. If you click on the pet and scroll down, you will see a training video section. When you click on it, it will show 5 videos which are API retrieves from YouTube. It chooses these videos based off of the breed. Mia is listed as a German Shepherd, so right now it shows German Shepherd training videos. If we were to change her breed, these videos should change accordingly. Thus, we can return back to Mia's screen and edit her breed to be that of a Labrador. Once we change the breed and submit the changes, we finalize these changes by logging out of the account and logging back in. Once we log in and click on Me again, we can scroll back down to the training video section and it should reflect the change we made from German Shepherd to Labrador. As you can see, now 5 videos are shown regarding the trainings of Black Labradors. This concludes the presentation of the training section. I will now pass it off to the next team member.
Thanks to all my Capstone 2 members for showing the functionalities of our version 2 of the Pet Care app. Now I'll be showing you the differences between last semester's Pet Care, or what we call version 1 of the app, and ours, which we call version 2. So I'm going to sign into the exact same account we've been using for most of the demo, but it will look very different on version 1. So as you noticed, right when I logged in, it didn't even ask me for my role as a veterinarian or a patient, and that's because they didn't have separate veterinarian and patient views, and so the app was the same for whoever signed in. So now let's take a look at what the differences in the pet profile page are. So here we see we have Mia, which we added before, but now the pet information is a lot less, and I don't think we input any of this, did we? Here we go. Yeah, there's no section to ask how many years owned, or any of the other things it asks here. Where's the pet kept outside? It doesn't ask. And so now when we scroll down, we see that the only thing in version 1 was the training videos, which admittedly did work exactly as it works now. Except that there's no other functionality besides the training videos. Now, version 1 actually created this tool, and we have it in version 2, but it's a diagnostic tool, so you put in your pet's symptoms, so they're all selected here, and then you put diagnose my pet. And if there are any diagnoses, they'll show up here. So here we see that our pet is diagnosed with canine influenza, and it'll give us a description, some common symptoms, treatments, and preventative measures. Now, if we put in different input, so let's put things that might not make sense together, we may end up with no diseases that the app can diagnose for now. Obviously, we can't have a database with every single possible disease, even obscure ones, so we opted to just have the common ones. And so here we see our profile. Do you see that now we have view lab results in our profile section? So it's not in our pet section anymore. So what this means is that if you have, right now we only have Mia, but if you have 3, 4, 5 or more pets, all of their lab results are going to be under here, and so it might get confusing. In version 2, we do it under every pet, so that helps you organize the lab results by pet instead of just having it all to one pet owner. As you can see here, just like we showed in version 2, we can edit the picture and the name, we can save, and we can sign out. So that's the same. So this concludes version 1. Now we can take a look at version 2 and see our changes. Alright, now that we've covered version 1, we're going to get started on seeing the differences that we've implemented in version 2. So I'm going to log into the same account, and since this account is already created, it's not going to ask us for our role, but that is a difference. We have separate vet and pet and patient views, and so right now we're in a vet account view. So when we go to pets in Mia, we have a lot more pet information, and it actually reflects what we input into the system. And we can change things, so we can put pregnant, lactating for a long time, and we'll see it right here. So as we scroll down, it's not just training videos anymore. We have the lab results inside each pet profile instead of the account for the pet owner. We also have prescriptions, as you saw before, and we have recommended diets. So I'm just going to go over those really quickly because you've already been shown them by our other members. But definitely a lot more functionality in our version 2. Alright, so the diagnostic tool has stayed the same. Just to show you, I'm going to put the same symptoms, and we should get the same diagnoses, the paraflu or the canine influenza. There we go. So it works the same. We've not made any changes to that. Our profile now stays the same as well. You know, you can change the picture and the name as Ronald showed you earlier, but the lab results are not here anymore because they are under pets now. And lastly, we made another tab to start implementing, although superficially, the chat feature. Right now it doesn't work. You can type things in, but you can't really do anything. But we wanted to at least superficially implement that so that next semester they can build on this. We just kind of built the skeleton for them. And that concludes the differences between version 1 and 2, and it also concludes our demo. So thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.